Today in this video we will discuss about the famous poem of William Carlos Williams, The Red Wheelbarrow. Just what does depend on the old wheelbarrow anyway? Introduction. So just what is the deal with that red wheelbarrow and those white chickens? Garage Decker looks closely at Williams and his American vernacular. At age of 15, I was a bit of a mess. My mother has died the year before, leaving my father and me alone to piece together our lives. I was fumbling around, looking for a way to make sense of my life, and seized on William Carlos Williams' poems in my 10th grade English class. His poems were experimental yet safe, a combo I craved in my extra dark teenage years. The poem was spent the most time discussing in class was no surprising the red wheelbarrow. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater besides the white chicken. We haggled for a period or two over what exactly depends upon this wheelbarrow. Explanation such as wheelbarrow is really important for farming and chicken difference farming were offered. We wondered if the poem might be a tribute to the base of the nature, rain or water, could surmount humans' mechanical encroachment, wheels barrow, but nothing about the poem seemed to hint at the kind of reflexive hostility. Nowhere does Williams tell us why so much depends upon his little scene. He leaves us to ask and answer that question. Williams had an unusual life for a major literary figure. He was college buddies with modernism, high-priced Ezra Pound at the University of Pennsylvania, but rather than spend his nights cavering in Europe's literary saloons, he chose to become a doctor and live most of the life at 9 Ridge Road in Rutherford, New Jersey, an address that became a pilgrimage destination for younger poets. In between house cars is in the midst of delivering countless babies and treating the ailments of Rutherford's working class population. Williams wrote teeny poems on prescription pads or held or hold up late in the night in the upstairs study from which his wife Felicity could bear the clatter of his typewriter as a draft after draft raced through it. This is not to say that he did not live a literary life. He and Felicity frequently traveled to New York and hung out with poets and painters. He was a friend of Marine Moores and felt himself engaged in a lifelong rivalry with T.S. Eliot, whom he thought and turned poetry back towards high diction and the literary past, while Williams, like Forrest, believed that modernizing American poetry meant incorporating contemporary American speech into its fabric. His poems was filled with regular poem talking. They were set on neighborhood streets, in hospitals, in backyard plays I had been when in blizzards I read looking trees strained out in long alleys over a wild solitude. I could talk out my window on western New York and see those trees when he says and he blizzards drifts its weight deeper for 3 days or 6 years. That was all familiar to me as the misunderstandings my father and I bandied back and forth. The Red Wheelbarrow, like so many William poems, is experimental. It lacks punctuation, relies on erratic or unusual lineation, and generally dissolves the traditional boundaries between one thing or idea and another. He had a famous maximum, no idea but in things, which I take to mean that to speak about ideas, emotions, and abstractions, we must ground them firmly into the things of the world. All but the first two lines of the Red Wheelbarrow is devoted to one image. Williams' poems also often points out the relationship between things and the words we use to talk about them. In a short of a song, Williams makes a bold statement. Let the snake wait under his weed, and in the writing be of the words slow and quick, sharp to write, quiet to wait, sleepless. Though metaphor to reconcile the people and the stones compose. No ideas but in the things invent sepulchre in my flowers that split the rocks. He wants his words to move weight, even attack the Latin roots of the word sacrifrag means breaking rocks. The sacrifrag flowers roots itself in rocks, splitting the stone to reach soil. The world itself is a metaphor. The line breaks as it splits, and Williams splits the sentence in the way a flower splits the rocks. He reveals how language can help us to break out of our personal isolation, get out of our heads, whether a teenage or an adult, and engage with the world around us.